Alright, so Happy New Year everyone. This is the first video of 2018 for you all, and I thought I'd share a reason why I've been a little quiet for the first 36 hours of 2018, and it's very calculated. It's something I decided to try and do several weeks ago, and I wanted to wait until I'd done this experiment to actually share the results and how it worked. I'm being blown away. It's really affected me positively. So firstly, excuse the hoarse voice. I've been tremendously ill. I always seem to get really ill at the very end of the year. It sucks. If anyone knows a remedy as to why, I don't know, but so I'm a bit of a husky voice today. So look, I decided to try an experiment with the very start of my year. It's not something you can go back and do for obvious reasons, but it's something you can employ or try in the week ahead or in the month ahead or something like that. And it's a tremendous way to get so charged up, but also have some real clarity of thought and be very, very effective and efficient, in fact, when it comes to kicking off with your work. So let's take the classic scenario starting the new year, right? The start of the new year, everyone's feeling, okay, I've had my break, I've had my kind of Christmas period or whatever, and, you know, now I really want to get the, you know, the jets burning and get myself started. And I decided to do something which is so counterintuitive, but I wanted to experiment and see what would happen. And the idea I tried was to do nothing other than the absolute basics in terms of my duties to deliver on particular things. I literally decided to do nothing. And it's a very interesting reason why. I had this feeling several weeks ago that it might be interesting to experience having your hands tied behind your back and how it would really charge you up and motivate you to get things started. When you can't do something, but you know what you want to do and that you want to do it, is a very interesting thing that affects your brain. And the best way the best kind of analogy I can make is, if you imagine, I don't know if you've ever seen, a lot of people disagree with this, but just bear with me for the analogy. If you've ever seen greyhound races, so you've got these dogs. I'm going to draw a dog here. There you go. You got these dogs. And there's let's say there's 3 of them, okay, and then you've got a rabbit as well, poor little bunny, right? Now the rabbit, his job is to not get caught, and he's going to run as fast as he possibly can. When they open the traps, so when the gate goes down, these greyhounds are going to absolutely tear up the track and try and chase them, and of course we put bets on and things like that. Now imagine you've got 3 utterly rabid dogs here. They haven't and they haven't eaten for 2 days. They're going to be so up for chasing that rabbit, right? Now these dogs represent you at the start of the new year. The rabbit represents the tasks, the things you're going to chase, you know, your success, the success you're going to be trying to run after, and all the things you want to get done, the projects you want to get into, you really want to kind of rip into. Now that's fairly obvious. Imagine if you're this dog and you're chained to a post. Okay, there you go, there's my little chain. And the trap goes down, so that's January 1st, ticks over 0000 on the clock, and these 2 dogs chase off after the hare. That's time passing now, this is time. And you're stuck here, you're what's called chomping at the bit, right? You're straining at the leash, you're this rabid dog, you've been cooped up, and now the green light's gone on, the rabbit started running past, and you cannot move. You felt you were hungry before, think about how you're going to feel now, okay? This is called FOMO, fear of missing out, okay? This is also known as this is a kind of a hunger, okay, that will increase if you know you can't get it, okay? This is what 5-year-olds and 2-year-olds, which I have both of, and most of my children are that age, those ages, this is what they have. They have this fear, like, you know, if something, they can't have something, but they want something and they want it even more. So what I did was I knew very much in terms of the kind of the projects I wanted to do and the things I was going to be achieving in the year ahead. I decided to do nothing for between 1 and 2 days. I did 36 hours, okay? And what's interesting is that you experience a lot of feelings of irrationality, okay? This is the rabid dog, right? What happens is you start thinking to yourself, like, I'm like almost furious now. Like I need to get started. And what I did was I said to myself, whatever I feel, I'm not going to do anything for 36 hours. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait. And I want to experience it. And what I want is any irrationality, I'm going to say to myself, that's just you being irrational, right? Because in the whole grand scheme of things, I've been really successful anyway. It's not like it's going to kill me to lose 36 hours. But what's it going to do for me in terms of motivation, and how is it going to affect me? What was very interesting is when I waited this for the first day and a half and haven't done any work at all other than the absolute minimums that were required, to start with, my brain was like so pissed with me. It was like, how dare you do this? You have got to get on. You've got to do it. And what it is that rationality is based on the routine you have, is based on habit, is based on what you're used to doing. It's a feeling of attack, go, okay? What's very interesting is that very soon, because I'm good at doing, I suppose, but I think you could probably, anyone could do this, very soon I started recognizing that these were irrational thoughts, and they were just because I felt I should get on with my work. And I started having thoughts instead, they changed to thoughts of clarity. I started thinking to myself, okay, fine, so what we've decided to do is it's a day and a half then that we're not doing any work. And I started, basically I reset things, and I said to myself, right, if in 36 hours from now, this is my start point, you know, the start line begins there on my timeline, then what am I going to do at that stage? And it was almost like I said to myself, right, so you've lost a load of time, what are you going to do to catch up? And it was amazing. I started saying, like, what things are you know, indispensable, okay? And what things are non-essential. And what it was like, the moment that gate drops after 36 hours, what's the first thing you're going to do? And I think the big takeaway from doing this is, by holding back, it made me aggressively want to start that much more. And I think that was very powerful. I think I've probably run out of the blocks harder from here when the time got to 36 hours than I would have at this point. I was so up for this year, but I deliberately held myself back. And the feeling of being left behind, fear of missing out, has made me charge out even harder. So it's an interesting thing to do in terms of really pushing yourself. You should try that at least. But in terms of the clarity as well, it was a case of, if I've lost a day and a half, then what things do I really need to do first? Okay, and the clarity and purity in my, you know, list of things I'm going to do, and more importantly the priority and order of doing them, has been drastically affected. And so I went into attack mode on specifically things that really needed to get worked on straight away. So I urge you to try this. It's very counterintuitive, but the catch-up phase, which is, I think, probably in the 6 hours immediately after you do allow yourself to start. Maybe you might do this for 2 or 3 days or something. That initial catch-up phase is exhilarating because you're so pure in your focus, you're so aggressive, almost driven by this kind of fury that you've missed out on something. So you're catching up. You're probably working far more productively than you were before, because there's not any kind of okay, let's start then, we're in the new year, let's get back into those kind of routines. It was a case of, no, I've lost time, what stuff is really important right now? So try it out. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I dare you. This is what I'm going to say. I dare you to try it, even if you did it for 1 day. Hold yourself back and see how you react to it. It goes against all conventions, you know, the fear of missing out, the kind of the natural feeling of, well, now I have to start, right? Just try it on a Monday even, or even in the morning. Don't let yourself start until, say, 10 a.m. Starve yourself of time and see what happens when you are forced to work against that extra pressure. And I suppose it's very similar to when you have a very tight deadline. you really focus on the things that matter, it gives you that purity and that clarity of thought and that focus more than anything else, and it's been a tremendous start for me. So experiment well made. I was killing myself yesterday because I wanted to get started, but it was a case of saying, well, let's try this out for 36 hours and see how it goes. And will I revisit it? Yeah, I might even do it again next year, but I'll probably do it again this year. In fact, another point, I might start a month that way. So very counterintuitive, especially coming from me, but I dare you to try it and let me know how it goes. Thanks so much then for listening, and yeah, Happy New Year. Let's have a great start, and those of you trying something like this, I'd love to hear your thoughts on how it went. But all the best, and yeah, let's smash 2018.
I'm tryna whip it with the top down.